All right, so today is Monday, January 30th, and we are taking a pretty big step. Well, at least it's a big step for me, right? What I'm going to do right now is I'm actually driving to a location to meet a realtor. His name is Joey. I've known him for a little bit in the car scene. He's got a pretty cool bag Tesla. But that being said, we're going to go check out a property that he already has. I'm driving there now. And the goal today isn't to necessarily find the perfect property for the business. The goal today is just to get or kind of gauge how much square footage in a building that I need for it to make sense for the business. Now, with the business, obviously we need quite a bit of space to house multiple different bays so people can bring their cars in to detail them. And also, since it's going to be the type of shop where you're probably there for at least an hour at a time, I want it to be big enough so we can have multiple customers washing their vehicles, obviously, at the same time, right? So, in my head, I'm thinking that we need probably somewhere in the ballpark of between 3,000 and 5,000 square feet in order for the location to be, somewhat manageable. And like I said, being able to get cars in and out of. Also, I do know some things that we need to stay away from. So ideally, I don't want to rent a location that has like a long narrow building. That's obviously not going to work if we're going to need to bring cars in and out. Now it's just going to depend on how it's kind of set up. I think in my head, what I would like to see is kind of one big, bay door that opens up to like almost like a square building inside, where on the left side we have bays and then on the right hand side we have bays. And I don't know if those are all going to be like wash bays that have water, or if like one side will be wash bays, the other side will be dry bays. I've also heard some people say that they don't necessarily like the idea of having to move their car once they wash it, because you can get, like, if your feet are wet and you're cleaning your car, you can get wet feet in the carpets. So that's one problem that a lot of people may face if they are going to like one of those self-service pressure washer bays where you pull in and you spray your car off, and then you have to pull forward to dry it, right? And they have the vacuums and all that stuff. So that's one thing that we're going to be kind of weighing pros and cons there, but this is a pretty cool step in the process so far. This is finally getting out there and going out to check out some locations. Now, the goal here isn't to find the most ideal space today. Like I said, the goal today is just to be able to gauge or get a good understanding of how much square footage that we're going to need moving forward in the future. Again, I'm thinking somewhere between 3,000 and 5,000 square feet, but we will see how this building pans out, what it looks like. Once we get there, I will go ahead and bring you guys along for that journey as well. Go ahead and check out the space and go from there. All right, so as you guys saw in that quick little video, I probably should have taken a better video of it, but that building, while I think that the size of the space, when we're talking square footage wise, was about 4,700 square feet, and I think that that's probably pretty reasonable when we talk about the size of the space that we're going to need for detail labs. However, the orientation or the way that it was set up was a little bit not what I was looking for. And what I mean by that is that in that building, it is a little bit longer, so it's more narrow. And what I'm looking for is to make it almost like a square, right? So you'd be able to walk in the middle, and let's just say at the back wall we have a counter and some display cases, and then on the left side you're going to have bays. Maybe they're wash bays. On the right side, you maybe have more wash bays, or maybe those are dedicated dry bays. And then maybe a section of that spot or that space is going to be specifically dedicated to people that are doing things like ceramic coating or paint correction, where they need a little bit more light, a little bit more space, and don't want to be around water and things like that, obviously, if they're coating a vehicle. So I'm going to wrap the video here, but let me know what you guys think. Definitely subscribe to the channel if you want to stay followed along with the journey of Detail Labs and how we're essentially starting a business from ground zero, from pen and paper. If you watched the last video, and how we've used ChatGPT to help kind of put our business plan together and push me in the right direction. That being said, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Again, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video if you could, share it with some friends. I would greatly appreciate it, and we'll catch you on the next one.